Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. My name is Adam Smith. I'm from Laureate International Universities, and we're switching things up a little in this series. And today I will be the one asking Julie, the president and CEO of Business Volunteers Maryland, some of the tough questions that she's been asking us as community members and community leaders in Baltimore. And Julie, thank you for joining us today on your podcast series, your video series. It's great to have you here. Thank you.
It's great to be here, Adam. Thank you so much for including me.
You're
Awesome.
very welcome. Your first question that is brilliant, that I believe you created and you've asked everybody at the beginning of these conversations is, how are you doing good better? So
Yeah.
Julie, for you personally and for Business Volunteers Maryland, how are you doing good better?
Well, that is a brilliant question. So thank you for asking me that, Adam. I think when you are fortunate, like I am, to work for an organization where doing good better is what you do every day, I get to kind of live the dream. So personally, I've always been involved in giving back to the community in probably a little more grassroots ways. So if there was a food drive or a clothing drive or an adoptive family, I was right there participating. I've served on nonprofit boards. I've led mentoring programs at a local school. So personally, I get the importance of engaging in the community. And when I joined Business Volunteers, I got to bring my passion to work, if you will. So every day we are working with a business who is trying to make a difference in our shared community, whether that be through nonprofit board service, through volunteer days, or through our civic leadership program. They have employees they believe that through development can make a real instrumental difference in our community. And I get to do that for a living. So, I giggle sometimes on the way to work when we used to drive there, just that I get to do this. And yeah, it's a career. It's awesome.
It is. It is. And the passion and the energy you bring to it is always so inspiring. You and your brilliant team.
It's a good team.
You're not new to this idea of companies coming together and using their talent and resources and time to make a positive contribution. And obviously, this continues to change and evolve how all companies are showing up in their local community. Is there, are there one or two examples you can share about changes that you've seen maybe over the past 5 years in terms of how companies are thinking about doing good better themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question, Adam. I think most people, when they think about company volunteering, they think about rolling up your sleeves and going somewhere and doing some kind of physical work. And obviously, today that's very important. We've done it together with Laureate and gone to schools within Baltimore City where we've refurbished and painted and cleaned up. We go to farms and help the organizations there on the ground to harvest their crops. So very hands-on physical volunteering. And we are seeing more and more of our partners maintain that offering, but they're starting to move to more pro bono consulting. So where they recognize that their employees have terrific skills, intellectual capital, if you will, that they can bring to a nonprofit and make a significant difference, not just on that one day, but for that organization's lifetime and in their development. So you bring together a group of professionals who have finance experience. You have a nonprofit who doesn't even know how to budget. They are passionate about their mission, but they may not have the financial skills. So by matching that business partner to that opportunity, they are then building the capacity of an organization that will serve them for years going forward. We just recently did a program with a business partner, T. Rowe Price, where they identified some of their community partners, their nonprofits that they support. They identified several that were founded and are led by people of color, and they are working on social justice issues. And they had a specific event that we facilitated for them to help those specific organizations think differently about some of their business challenges. So for me, that's the big change. It's it's seeing businesses trying to lift up nonprofit organizations in general, and then also recognizing that there are some organizations out there that are doing really important work when it comes to social justice, and they might need a little extra lift, and they're out there really ready, willing, and able to give it.
That's a fabulous example of what might have changed or how we're continuing to evolve in the business community. That's very much looking out to the community in terms of what those actions look like, what those activities look like. What about looking in to the businesses that are doing this? What type of value are you seeing returned within those companies, in addition to what you've just explained outside of those companies?
So, I mean, that's really our mantra at Business Volunteers, that when you are a participant in, whether it's the, roll your sleeves up, direct service volunteering, or if you're doing pro bono skilled-based volunteering, you are not only benefiting the organization that you serve, but you are developing skills yourself. So typically you are going to find yourself sitting across the table from someone who has a very different life experience than you do, and they bring different thoughts, ideas, and suggestions to the conversation that when you go back to your professional career, you go back to your day job, you can leverage these collaboration skills. You can leverage the ability to value diversity in ways that you might not have anticipated when you took on this volunteering assignment, and all of a sudden you realize that you got as much out of that experience as the organization you were helping. And then the real win comes for the business who sponsored it, put it all together, and they have a more talented, more knowledgeable, more engaged employee who is there working on their day work, if you will.
So Business Volunteers Maryland for almost 20 years have been looking at both of these, looking at what is best practice in terms of how businesses are reaching out to the community, making a really important contribution in their community. Through Business Volunteers, you've seen firsthand the value for the employee and for the culture of the company and for the brand and reputation of the company more broadly. Where do you see this going? You've talked about the shifts over the past 5 years to more of skilled volunteering and pro bono consulting, that type of support. What do you think the future looks like in terms of the role that business plays in community?
Well, I think a little bit about what I was sharing about what T. Rowe Price did. And I think that's just with even more intentionality, identifying organizations that really align with your mission. I mean, Laureate has always done this well. You identify organizations that align with your own mission, and you find ways to connect through board service, through direct and skilled-based volunteering. And then you're working on developing your leadership skills for your employees. So you're really lifting organizations up that are aligned with your vertical, if you will. So you spend time with educational organizations and schools, and there are other organizations that focus really heavily on healthcare, or maybe it's mental health, and different areas that really they can be more strategic in how they align, but also more impactful.
That's great. Tell me, just extending that a little further, tell me what's something that you notice that businesses are surprised by as they get to know Business Volunteers Maryland?
Well, first of all, most of them are surprised by us, period. So we have been in existence, as we noted, we're in our 19th year. so many people haven't even heard of us. I mean, I hadn't heard of Business Volunteers till this opportunity presented itself. So that's one of our biggest challenges, is just getting out there to the organizations that don't know us. And then I think they are very surprised by our ability to think with them as a thought partner strategically. So we really can drill down on what they're doing well, where they have opportunity for growth, and how they can align all of their engagement in a much more strategic manner.
That's great. And that's what surprises people. Tell us one thing you wish more members of the business community in Baltimore, one thing you wish they knew about Business Volunteers Maryland.
Well, beyond just knowing that we exist.
No, well, knowing that you exist is a good starting point.
Right. Like, first of all, know that we're here. And then
Yeah.
I think, secondly, I think if they think about us like they think about other services that they outsource. So if you think about, people might outsource their IT, or they might outsource some of their other backroom operations. This is something you can outsource to Business Volunteers. So we can develop and help you execute your community engagement strategy. And then you can focus on the experience itself. So it really is letting us handle all of the details. And then you and your team can really focus on whatever volunteering experience you decide to participate in, and get into that mission, get into that experience. And we're kind of working in the background, making sure it all goes off without a hitch. As you know, right, Adam?
I was just going to say, Julie, after that Laureate itself, for the 19 years that Business Volunteers have been in existence in Maryland, we've been a partner. And for my 7 years with Laureate, I've seen firsthand how you and your fabulous team really do that, take care of every detail, large and small, and have been able to help us identify the Baltimore City Public Schools, the local mission-aligned nonprofits that you think would be a great match for us. And there's, so far, without any hesitation, I can say there's been a 100% success rate with all of the facilitation and the connections that you've made for us. So on behalf of Laureate,
we've had a lot of fun too, right?
We've had a lot of fun, and more to look forward to. Yes. You typically end these conversations with some unplanned, unscripted, rapid fire questions.
And just for the record, all of the other questions were unplanned and unscripted.
Unplanned, no, that's great conversation.
Yes.
But this is hopefully some things that surprise you a little. And I'd like I'm a little nervous to give a shout out to your friend and my friend Lauren for some inspiration here. But the first one from me is, tell me one place in Baltimore that is really special to you.
Oh, well, that's easy. Petit Louis. Petit Louis is a French bistro restaurant in Roland Park. And it is special to me because it's really where I fell in love. So I'm married now to my husband for almost 20 years. And many dates there. And ultimately, the night we got engaged, we started with dinner there.
Wow. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
How have they been through COVID? They're still okay?
They're good. They have a great outdoor area, and we go. And when they opened for 50%, we went because we love them. We trust them. We know that they take it very seriously. So yeah, they're good. They're good. Listen, in these nice summer nights, they've been packed and bustling.
That's great. Okay, thanks to Lauren for the next one. If you had a walk-up song, what would it be?
American Woman. Yeah.
Tell us why.
I don't know. I think actually I was at an event, and that was the walk-up song they played. Okay. When I walked up, I'm like, I kind of like it.
Great.
So I like it.
I can't wait till I see you next. You'll be
singing it?
I won't be singing it. I like you too much to sing to you. That would be a punishment you don't deserve.
I love it. That's terrific.
Okay, last one. It was your idea to create this podcast, but tell us what podcast you listen to. Is there a particular genre that you go to?
Yeah, I listen to true crime.
Okay.
And the one that I go back to regularly is called True Crime Garage. And it's two guys who sit in their garage in Ohio and they drink beers and discuss some random crime. And it was actually, I shouldn't say random, these are serious crimes that have happened. But it is a kind of a fun approach in how they talk about these things, but 100% true crime.
Wow.
I
I've
know.
known you for a long time and I've learned some new things.
Yeah.
This is great.
Maybe not all
Julie, thank
good.
you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much. This
you.
has been great.
Thank you for
And,
taking over my chair.
and
You're
thank you for
really good
all
at
you're
it.
doing. Thank you for all you're doing, Julie. It's just such the role that you and Business Volunteers Maryland play in our community is so important. And I share your hope that more businesses, but just more broadly across the community, that more people take the time to learn about the brilliant work that you do. And I agree, it is surprising, not just that you exist, but the type of impact that you're able to have and all of the different ways that you approach that. We wouldn't be the same company without you, and I'm sure there's many others who feel the same way. So a big, big thank you to you and your team.
Thank you, Adam. You know I have really the pleasure of working with some incredibly talented people, and that makes all the difference.